Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer and I'm playing 1825. Nope, that's not true. It's 1824. Yeah, Austria, Hungary. And we've done the starting auction and we've also done the first operating round, and now we go in. Technically it's not a starting auction, right? It was the first stock round where all the miners have been simply picked up by the players, and now we go into the second stock round. And one of the, well, I don't know if I want to call it an issue, but one of the weird things of this game for me is that it's hard for the players to use their early money to invest. And it's really tricky. So basically right now the only thing that you could buy that maybe could pay out is the Bosnisch-Herzegovinische. So the red one, the BH. That is a company that someone has to start, and they need to buy 50%. So $300. Nobody has that money. Maybe there could be some collusion possible, but I find it unlikely because, for example, this guy could buy the presidency, and some others could only buy a single share. So why would these people then help the guy to buy 2 shares if they can only afford a single share, right? It doesn't really, it just gives them basically a disadvantage. So I'm pretty sure this is not going to happen. On the other hand, it's not possible to start any of the other companies. You have to trade them in, and you can only do this from phase 3, which we don't have yet. In addition to that, in general, it's a difficult decision for me, at least, to trade one of these coal companies in for a regional company. The reason is you make 50% of what the coal company makes. And if you trade that in for a regional company, it is actually unlikely that you will get 50% of that regional company in shares, simply because the other players will then also invest. So it's probably more likely that you get like 40%, I guess, maybe. Not quite sure. Maybe you can make it to 50. And of course, you make maybe more money because then you get a share appreciation that adds to the pure revenue. And you don't get that from the coal mines. In addition, you have the option, of course, to buy additional trains. You have more money available. And you can also use then this additional money maybe to feed your other miner companies. So this is probably an interesting option. But if I only have a single coal mine, which in this specific game nobody has, but if I only have a single coal mine, it doesn't really feel like a very good idea, in my opinion at least, to exchange that early for another company. And I've played a couple of times 2-player games, and I've seen it happen that my opponent, it happened a couple of times that he actually made that exchange first. And for me, that was great. I could buy his shares, and on the other hand, I could still run my companies. So I don't know. I always had the feeling that the guy who kind of makes this exchange first gets into a worse position. But I might be wrong. Now, of course, it is also possible now already to buy some of these shares that they have a value. You can buy them. They won't pay out. But the money sitting here also won't pay out. So you could do it now if you expect to exchange something, for example, later in the game. And that could save you some actions during later stock rounds. So this might be something to think about here. This guy only has 65 bucks, so it's not going to happen for him. He has 80, and his two companies, the Karl Ludwig one and this one here, the Siebenbürgener, they are positioned here at 90 and 100. So I also don't think, and he's not going to buy something of his shares hoping that he at some point might convert them. So you want to have control when the shares convert if you invest in them. That's at least what I believe. Or you want to have at least some basic idea when that happens. So I don't think anybody will buy anything right now. Pretty sure about that. That means priority stays simply with this guy, and we go into the next operating round. Okay, so first these two coal companies will operate after the mountain railroads paid out. And so this guy has placed a tile here, ran for 30, and now we can actually connect here with this, the EOD, and that's already quite a nice run, 50. So the company receives 10, and then it's 25 for the owner and another 25 for the company. So that is not bad for now. So the MLB is laying track here. They kind of want to prepare some track also for the CL. So that was the reason why they didn't buy here, because the CL has their starting location here. And yeah, they want to build to Tarnopol, maybe then down here. And their hope is that they can upgrade the one train to a 2G, and then they can take this here. But there's not enough money in the company yet. But maybe in 2 rounds they could do it. And down here we simply have also the attempt to build something here. So the 3 companies that will eventually become the Southern have operated, and the one has upgraded Wien to yellow, so it's now 40. They had a run of 50. The 2 wants to build toward Trieste. They had a run of 30, and here they paid 40 to go through the mountains. That is Bozen, and they also ran for 40. So nothing too exciting, and they have still a 2 train that they cannot run. And they also can't shuffle it. The 2 could have run the 2 train next turn, but yeah, they can't do it right now. It's not allowed to cross by trains at the moment. We have to wait until the 3 comes out. So on to the Hungarian. And they're going to lay track like this, I guess. Yeah, do I want to go this way down here, or do I want to go into this direction? I'm not sure. I mean, the more attractive cities are definitely in this area here with the 2T cities. That's pretty cool. But here we got to go through the mountains, which costs money. Again, I don't know. I don't have any of the other companies that could help me or something. So I think I just roll a die. And on a 1 to 3, I'm going to go south. Okay, no, I'm going to go east. So I will lay track in this direction here and try to eventually connect with these guys over here. And that means now I can run for 30 bucks. That isn't great, but I can upgrade Buddha next turn, and then maybe I can run 2 trains soon. We'll figure that out. So the 2 companies of the KK, there were no more of these tiles available, the 6 tile. So they had to use another city, and they both took the sharp curve there. And I mean, yeah, they wanted to go directly to Salzburg, I guess. And these guys were also probably more tempted to go into this direction and then go to Prague. But they might consider running maybe 2 twos eventually from Wien to Brünn. So just like that. That's not a bad choice. And this guy, I don't know, he can always build like this or eventually simply upgrade this and make his way to Salzburg. Or maybe he can even go to here like that. And I'm not sure. We'll find a solution for that. So that means we're done with the operating round, and nobody bought a train and nobody improved a train. So that means the green train gets exported now, and that brings us now finally into the green phase, which means we can now cross-buy trains. We have 2 ORs. And from now on, we could also, wait a second, you know what? I forgot to run the 2, the Hungarian 2. So this is something I have to do first. So I want to spend 20 bucks. And make a connection to Buda. And then I can run for 40, and so that means again it's 20 for the company, and it's 20 for the owning player. Okay, so now we're done with the operating round, and we'll see if someone is willing to exchange his company for the presidency. I don't know, but I don't think so actually, but I also don't know what people want to do with their cash otherwise. This guy has now 200 bucks. That's a lot of money. The others don't have quite as much, but they are close. They're really weird decisions here. This is such a strange situation here. I really don't see a lot of incentive to start something. So we got this guy here. And he really is not in the mood to do it. He feels like this company is actually quite close to a 2G train or to an upgrade to a 2G train, and then they're going to run here and they're going to be okay. And this company is also doing fine. So, and they have the least money pretty much at the moment. So they don't necessarily want to give the players with more money, give the opportunity to invest that money. So there is definitely no reason for him to change something right now. start a new company, because he is basically on the way to catch up compared to, and that's at least how I feel, these goods companies, they become clearly stronger, at least in my opinion, compared to I don't know. Maybe not. I have no clue. I don't know. But I don't think he wants to give other players the option to invest. This guy can't do it because he does not own a coal company. He could start the Bosnia, but he could only do it for $60. And I don't think he wants to do that. And he needs someone to help him float. And if this guy would do that, then he would get the presidency. And yeah, again, is that something he wants? That's a tough call. Maybe. It would give him the opportunity to invest his money, and maybe owning the presidency of the Bohemian, which I don't know, with $600, it's not the best company, I guess, if it starts so low. So maybe this is actually an option. I gotta think about that. Okay, so now the question is this guy willing to help him start the Bosnia? And in general, it's probably not a terrible idea, because he has the second most money. He wants to invest that money to get an advantage over the other players. And if they make it in the right way, then he will sit in priority over him. Actually, yeah, it's very likely that this will happen for a couple of times, because he sits right before him. Yeah, as soon as one of these players has priority, he can basically react to what this guy is doing. And so I think, yeah, there is definitely a will to start the company. The question now is, at what value does he want to do it? He could start it for 70 and then buy 2 shares. And then this guy could buy 3 shares. That would exactly work out. However, he could also say, look, I'm going to start it for 80. I can still buy 2 shares. And if he wants the presidency, he's going to have to use one of his companies to get it, because he does not have $240 to buy 3 shares. So maybe that's even more interesting for him. And yeah, I'm going to roll a couple of dice and see what kind of agreement they will find, if they find an agreement at all. I think he would prefer to say, look, we start this for 80, and I want to give you one of these companies away, but in return you get the presidency of the Bosnia. Now, an additional aspect here is interesting. Dumping is not so easy in this game, because there is no bank pool. You trade here with the bank all the shares, but if you sell, there may not be more than 50% in the bank. So it's actually not a big risk to buy a couple of shares. Yeah, as long as they are, for example, still 30 or 40% in the bank, a dump is pretty much impossible. So we're actually going to see that happen. He's going to spend $160, and he's going to start the Bosnia for 80. So it goes here. Technically, I think it goes underneath, but it doesn't matter because the others don't operate yet. And now this guy buys a share also for 80, and I think at that point now the others will also jump on the train. Yeah, because they realize here's something we can buy for the money. So that's another $80, and now pretty much everybody wants to buy these shares because they realize this thing is going to float anyway. So this guy could now say, now that all the others basically have invested, I can simply exchange my mountain railroad and keep the presidency myself. It's not that simple, but actually, yeah, I think it is. He could not get more than 40%. So he could do this now, which would be a really dicky move. You know, they had this agreement, he was willing to help him, and now, the way things developed, he says, hey, fuck you, I'm going to take the presidency for myself. I don't think he's going to do that, honestly. I'm going to roll a die, and yeah, he's kind of, I have this personality thing, these random personalities, and cooperation is one of them, and he's sitting there on a pretty high level. So on a 1, he's going to do that. And he actually does. Incredible. So yeah, he says, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to exchange this for a share of the Bosnia. And that means I will now keep the presidency. Because there are not enough shares, he could, in theory, get 4 shares. I wonder if there are 4 shares. There actually still are 4 shares. So now the question is this guy willing to claim these last 3 shares, which means he had to spend his 2 shares, his 2 Bergbahnen, his 2 mountain railroads. And it seems like he basically has to do it, because if he doesn't, it becomes a dangerous thing to buy additional shares of the railroad, because then I mean, maybe not. He could now pass. And if he did, he could keep these 2, and I think that's what he wants. That's a tough decision. This is now really a very tough decision. Does he want the company, or does he pass? He's sitting on priority, so at the moment there is no risk, and I mean, he only holds 1 share anyway, and he keeps the 2. This is an income of 25. That's definitely more. That is definitely more than what he could make with the Bosnia in the upcoming operating rounds. However, he could now simply control the presidency, control $800, and maybe help this company. And this sounds actually better because right now he's sitting on $130 here. So yeah, I think of course there is a risk if someone else, we'll see. I'm gonna buy another share of the Bosnia. And the question now is, will someone of these guys exchange his mountain railroad? Because if that happens, there are not enough shares available to steal the company from him. But I don't think this is going to happen. Because the mountain railroads are good, they pay a lot of money, and I think nobody is that eager to hold 20% of the Bosnia. So no, I don't think this is going to happen. Instead, as an action, this guy will now get rid of his 2 mountain railroads for the 2 last shares of the Bosnia. That means it's actually sold out. And that also means that he gets now the presidency from this guy. That gives him priority. And it seems like he does not have to be afraid of a dump right now. So I think he's okay. Even if these guys sell their shares, no, there's no danger there. So that was a pretty crazy move, and now these guys both got rid of their mountain railroads. Maybe he should have stick to the agreement. I think we will see no further agreements in this game between these 2 players. Pretty sure about that. So we have here now the Bosnisch-Herzegowinische Landesbahn, Bosnia-Herzegovina, and they have $800, 3 dots. They start down here. We're going to place the starting token when it's their turn. And actually it's sold out, so that means the share value goes up. And now we go into the next operating round, and we now have a set of 2 ORs because now we are in green and the privates pay out. So this guy is, he's planning here for the near future, and he's got 2 options. So the first one is, I'm thinking about upgrading this, and I actually did that, building down here and then hoping to get a connection here to Vienna. And yeah, that would allow me then to run here a 1 train, and maybe even eventually run 2 1 trains and run a 2 train with this company here. But I need a 2 train for that, right? And I don't have a 2 train right now. And how much money do I need to upgrade? I would need $180 for that. Thinking about cross-buying, but this is... I'm also thinking about buying a 2 train out of pocket. So for example, if we run now both, there will be a reasonable amount of money in the company, and maybe if I then spend like $40 or so out of pocket, or maybe 50, I could buy a 2 train. And I guess that could be worth it. But it also means I lose a run with the company and the money. So that's a bit painful. The other option could be that I try to build in a way that I only need a 1G train. So for example, but that will take me long. I probably need another 2 turns. I could kind of build like this, upgrade that, and then make a connection here, and then build down here and upgrade this. So I got 1 more step now, then I got 2 here, and then I need 2. I can. That will take quite a while too. And by that, I could imagine that there might not even be 1Gs anymore left. So this, I might then as well just wait until I got enough money to upgrade these to a 2G. It's probably more reasonable. So I'm not quite sure how I want to do that. But first, let's now simply run here. So I got 10 bucks in the company from the coal mine. It's this one here. I could of course also upgrade this. It would give me a little more, but I think it is more valuable to go to Wien as fast as possible. And then I'm going to run for 50. So that means it's 50 for the company and 50 for the owner. And now we got about 75 bucks or 80 bucks in this company here. So we probably get the same amount in here, which means we would be at about 150, 160, which means I have to pay like 80 out of pocket. I don't think this is worth it, to be honest. This is a lot of cash. I also lose a run. I don't think I want to do that. Okay, now we see our first connection to a T-city. These are 30. Tarnopol right here, but this company runs only for 30. It only has a 2 train, so it cannot hit this one. But I'm kind of preparing for maybe a start of the CL, or I hope I can collect enough cash to eventually get a 2G. We'll see. I make 20 bucks from the mine, which is pretty good, and that gives me an advantage over these companies here who make only 10 bucks from the mine. And then I make 15 and 15 for the owner. Let's see how much we got now. It's quite a bit. Okay, so that's pretty good. That's already 50 bucks. That means we got 180. And look at that. That is exactly enough to upgrade. That's fantastic. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to discard this one. I think it goes out of the game. I'm pretty sure this goes out of the game. And I'm going to upgrade this to a 2G train, and I only have to spend 180, which is exactly all the money that I have. And now I can hit this one next turn and even go here and maybe then upgrade this. We'll see. And maybe I can actually make a connection to Budapest eventually. That's a pretty good run, and that's a pretty good start here. Really, I'm happy with that. So we got the first 2G. We're going to make money next turn. So now it's the southern. So we simply place the tile here, ran for 40. Now it's the southern again, or the one. This is the Wien Glognitzer, and they're going to upgrade Wien. So we're going to get this one here and simply place it like this. Now Wien is 50, and now all the dots have two, all the spaces have two exits. All the lines can now theoretically run two trains if they kind of make some connections here. So right now I'm running for 60. So 30-30 for the line number 1. Let's see. Do I want to, for example, upgrade? Do I have the money to do it? No, I'm sitting on... I could upgrade next turn to a 3 train, which might be an option. That would allow me to run to here. I could also consider, and that's a better idea, I guess. I think I might actually simply keep, that's interesting, I think I keep the 2-2 trains. Because next turn I can simply lay track like this, and I can then hit Wien twice. I mean, with 2 different trains. And I think this is better than running 2 trains here. Yeah, maybe. Interesting. Okay, now these guys will lay track to Trieste anyway. So the question is now, well, no, this is not a question. I can only use this one if I don't want to go to the water. The question is, do I want to go this way, try to connect to the Bohemia? I don't know. I think I prefer to connect to the 3 here. So I'm going to lay it like this. And then maybe I can make a connection here and get a better route with my 3. So that means I can now run for 50 instead of 30 to this dot here. I can now run to Trieste. That's definitely better. And so yeah, 25. Nice. Not enough money to upgrade, I guess. How much do I need? 140. No way I can do that. And now the 3, and they're gonna lay track into this direction. I think someone has to spend. Now it is a question, right? Is that really what I want to do? Do I really want to spend the 40 bucks to get to Trieste? Is that really that attractive? I mean, in the end, it's just 10 more bucks, but it costs me quite a bit, especially for these small companies. That's quite a big expense. So maybe, yeah, I don't know, man. This is a tough choice. I think, yeah, I don't think I want to spend the 40 bucks actually. I don't think I can afford the 40 bucks at the moment. I'm gonna go this direction here. Maybe I can eventually run a 3 train, or I can maybe even run 2 trains. I might consider buying a train down. I don't know. We'll see. I guess track laying in. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna upgrade. It's as simple as that. I don't really. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I'm simply gonna upgrade that city here Innsbruck, make 10 more bucks. There's no real reason for me to do a track lay here. Yeah. And by the way, now one of these cities becomes available again. So I'm going to run for 50 now too, which is kind of nice. Yeah, that's definitely more reasonable than doing some crazy track. It's just not necessary. So the one finally lays the yellow tile here in Pest. Is that... That's actually an interesting idea. Is that really what they want to do? Or do they want to start connecting? It will go pretty fast, but they are far from the money they need to get a good, a powerful goods train that will bring them somehow here to the mines. That's not going to happen. So, yeah, I'm going to do it like this, and yeah. So then I'm going to run for 40. That's not too great. So that is 20 for the company, and it's 20 for the owner. Got 175. This is not enough to upgrade, so I'm going to leave it here. And then it's the 2, and I think they want to help these guys. So, they want to lay one of these double tokens here. And I think what I want to do is I want to make them run like this with the... and then maybe someone connect to Budapest. This seems like a neat idea. And to do that, I want something that goes like this. No, that's not what I want. I want something that... okay, so I need this one. I could either take this one. That would connect me to Sarajevo and help the BH. I'm not sure if I want that. But this doesn't work, so it seems, yeah, no, I'm going to do that. Yeah, this is what I want. I'm going to place this. There we go. Let's be nice to the BH. It also helps me quite a bit. I'm also going to run simply for 50. There we go. And now we go to the KK miners. And that's kind of interesting because yeah, now they could run 2 trains, but, well, wait a minute. Maybe they... okay, let's see how much money I have. If I run, I could upgrade this. Maybe that's actually what I want to do. I think I want to do that. I think I want to upgrade, not like that, but... yeah, no, maybe like this. Let's do that. And wait a minute, that doesn't work. Ah, I see. Okay, no. I want to do it like this. Okay, and that allows me now to run for 80. And let's see how much money we'll have then. I got a lot of cash here. Is it enough to buy a train? Probably not, but it might be enough to upgrade a train. The question is, I can buy a train next turn, I think. I can, okay, that's 205. I can upgrade the 2 train to a 3 train. Oh, actually, I could do that right now. Oh, I got the money for a 3 train. Awesome. I'm going to buy that. 180, yeah, that's fine. I can do this. I'm going to buy the 3 train for 180 bucks. That's pretty awesome. And that means now that I still got 20. So yeah, I can lay track here to Pressburg, and then I can run 2 trains next turn, and eventually I can connect to Salzburg, and then I can run the 3 train here and the 2 train here, if the 2 train is still running at that point. But yeah, running 2 trains from Wien is pretty awesome, I think. Okay, now the 2 lays indeed simply a second track here. You know, I think I can do that later. I'm not going to do that. I also will simply upgrade into something like this. That gives me 10 more bucks. And I'm going to also run for 80. But I don't quite have the money. How much is that train? That would be 180. No, I don't have that money. But what I could do is I could buy... Yeah, I think... Yeah, I'm going to buy the 2 train from this one here. This is not good anyway. And how much money do I have? This is 110. That would be, wow, that's a lot of money. That's 200. I could even buy a 2G. But that I cannot. You know, I might eventually be able to use that. Going from, no, I have to go to the mine. Yeah, no, I cannot use that. But I can definitely buy a 3 train. Which is also not that great. God, that company is awful. So it seems like I need 180 bucks in this company. So I'm gonna keep 105 in here, and I'm gonna have 180, but I need another 20 to lay track here. Oh man. And then another 20, so I need 40 more. Okay, you know what, let's do it like this. This isn't great. This company is not good, but this one will make a good amount of cash next turn. So that's at least something. And then we're done with the miners, and now we're going to the B&H, which has now its first run. So that means we place the home token here, and we already have a route technically. So the question is now, what do we do? Do I upgrade this? I mean, I could, right? I could upgrade this, place a token there, and immediately I got to run to Budapest. And you know, actually, I think that's pretty awesome. I can go like this possibly, from Wien to Budapest. That's what I want to do. I'm going to upgrade this. like that. That's kind of cute. And then yeah, why not? And then the question is now, how many trains do I want? I mean, Sarajevo isn't terribly exciting at the moment. It only gives me $10. I could definitely run 2 trains next turn. Do I want to buy 2, 3 trains? That is the question, right? So first the value drops because I don't run. So we don't have to flip this. It's the only company operating. But yeah, so what am I going to do now? I got to pay $40. And I want a token there. I think that makes sense. So that gives me, I get back 60. Okay. Do I buy 2, 3 trains? So yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to buy 2, 3 trains. I'm just thinking about buying a G train, but I don't really believe that makes a lot of sense. Oh, by the way, I could also lay a token in Budapest instead of laying a token in Fünfkirchen. And a token in Budapest is going to be valuable. But right now, okay, let's face it. I think I need a token in Budapest and in Fünfkirchen. This is an important point to go to here at some point in the game, and maybe also somehow to get a connection to Wien. So I think this is a good token, and I can still lay a token in Budapest next turn. And I think I need to do it. Yeah. Yeah. I will buy... That's the thing, you know, if I upgrade Budapest, this becomes something like this. I will also get access to that sweet route with the coal mines, or maybe down here. But I don't have a good enough train to actually go to the coal mine itself. I can only hit the dots. So I think I'm going to go with 2, 3 trains. Yeah, so that's $360. And I'm heavily invested in these 3 trains now. I got overall 3 trains. So I'm going to make quite a bit of cash at the moment. But when these trains rust, I might end up in trouble. Okay, but we still got $400 in there, which isn't bad. All right, yeah, so that's it. And I'm going to go to bed now, and I'm going to start the next OR. I think I want to continue recording here, even if the video gets a little longer. And we're going to do the next OR then tomorrow. So the next morning, and these 2 companies are operating. This one simply laid track here, and the other one then could connect to Wien. And they can now run their 1G train to Wien. So they run now for 70, pretty good. So that's 10 from the mine, and then 35 for the company here. And now I'm considering, oh, wait a second, that goes to the player. I'm considering now maybe buying this train into this company, and that would then allow me to maybe buy a 2 train and run from here to Vienna. I'm not sure though. Maybe I should hold back a little bit, and because it means that I cannot run this company next turn. But if that's the case, I might as well use this one turn to make a connection here, circumvent the city, and simply run the 1 train to Vienna. And maybe I can simply upgrade both trains eventually to 2 trains. I have a lot of cash in here, so that might be a more reasonable approach. Actually, what I would like to do is buy the 1G train over to here, and then buy a 2G train with these guys. I think that's better than holding back. I'm going to roll a die, and on a 1 to 4, that's my plan. Okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna try to go the slow way without missing a run here, but that will definitely take me a little longer, and I think that was a mistake. But sometimes these things happen in place. Okay, so now this company here is operating, and they already have a 2G train. So they're gonna now place this tile, and they can now, they get 20 bucks into the company. There you go. And now they run for 30, 60, 70. So that's 35 for the company and 35 for the owner. Really nice. And this guy will now pay 20 bucks to lay a straight here, and now we have a connection to here, and we run for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 and also 20 go to the company. And then 30 to the company and 30 to the owner. And I think I also have, yeah, there's definitely enough money in here to upgrade the train to a 2 train. But I don't know if I actually want to do that. I don't really need a 2 train at the moment, and yeah, I can actually run the 1 still for 2 more turns. Eventually, if I want to go to Budapest, go in here, a 2 train would be great, but I don't know. I think there are still There are still 4 trains in there. I don't think that they will be gone too soon. So I don't think I have to be afraid of that. And yeah, no, I'm not going to buy that train. So now it's the one of the Southern, and they will now lay this track here, which allows them to run 2 trains from Vienna, and they have 2 trains, so that means they run now for 120. This isn't great, but for further development, of course, they would prefer to develop into this direction, Budapest. But, you know, if they don't lay this track, they run for $60 less. That's a lot, and I don't want to let this opportunity slip away. So I'm going to make that 120 run. So that is 60 for the company and 60 for the owner. So the 2 and the 3 basically just upgraded. Here they ran for 50, and here and they ran for 60. And I think the plan would be maybe to upgrade this tile so that we can avoid these dots and run to here. And then we might eventually get a good run here from Milan, which will be eventually 70. That is the best location. It's Wien is 80, Budapest is 70, and this one. So these 3 are the best locations. So if we can get a run from Milan, kind of like this, and then to Wien, that would be a 5 train. That would be nice. Okay, so now we go to the Hungarian, and these are the ones, they're really not doing great, and I'm so not sure what my plan actually is. Do I want to continue building in this direction? This is really a company where I have a feeling I completely fucked up. I don't know, didn't plan that really well. So do I want to go into this direction here? The problem with that is there is no real access to a mine. I basically have to build into this city somehow. Otherwise, I would need a 3G to get to that mine. That's tough. And what other option is there? Building here? I need a 4 to go to Vienna. That really didn't work out. You know, actually, I think my goal is to do a coal run here. And, you know, running from here to Pressburg just isn't good. But maybe if I work together with this coal mine, and I think this guy is willing to do it because there's also interest for him to go to Budapest, maybe we can build a connection here pretty quickly. If I do this, then he lays a token here, and we already have a constant straight here. And then I gotta upgrade this, we gotta upgrade that, we gotta make a connection here. Man, this takes all that long. I basically would lose 2 runs. No, I cannot afford that. This just doesn't work. Yeah, seems I gotta go to Wien, although I really don't want to. Or to Pressburg. Yeah, I don't see another choice at the moment. Upgrading Budapest doesn't really help. I don't get an exit here. It's basically the same It stays the same until brown. Okay, so yeah, I will simply spend 20 bucks to build along the Danube here, and I'm gonna need one of these 3 tiles. I got no clue. I'm just gonna roll a die and see which one of the 3 I take. Okay, I'm gonna take this one here. Gonna place it like this. And there we go. Okay, now I have to buy a 3 train for 180. I have that. But yeah, I think I really played this company terribly bad. Okay, and now we come to the 2. They're down here. They are sitting on a 2 train. There is definitely an interest to make a connection to Wien. Wien is better than Budapest. And before this guy does that, maybe we want to make sure we have a connection to Wien. So I'm gonna, I mean, I could be greedy and upgrade Budapest instead. Again, I will roll and see if he sees the danger that this could happen. On a 6, he doesn't see it. Okay, so he sees that, which means he lays a tile here, and then the B and H can upgrade this, and they have a nice connection to Wien, and for now they leave Budapest at 30. So he runs only for 60, but that's still a fine run. So now it's the 1 here of the KK, and they are also sitting on 2 trains. They will spend 20 bucks. And connect Pressburg to Wien. And now there is a connection between Budapest and Wien. However, they cannot run that because they have only a 3 train. They would need a 4 train to get there. But still, they can now run the 2 train here and the 3 train here, which is really good, I think. I mean, what I could do though is, maybe that's actually better. You know, I think I'm not gonna lay that. I think I want to lay this one, because that will allow me eventually to make a connection to Brünn, and that's worth 30. That's clearly better than this one. So that means I'm going to run now for 80. So 130, 150. That's the best run until now, I think. So the 2 has 2 trains. They're going to do that. And they're going to run for 160. And 80 for the owner. I could do an upgrade. I'm going to think about that. Okay, I think I have to upgrade to a 3 train. I don't really want to. I'm actually quite happy running my 2 trains here. The 3 train would only give me like 10 bucks more. And I also kind of accelerate to the point when the 2 trains rust, which happens obviously, when we come to the fours. So on that point of view, I don't really want to upgrade, but if I don't do it, it is not unlikely that I will end up eventually with no train at all, because I cannot make it next turn to the 4 train. All right, so buying a 4 train would be $280, and right now I'm sitting on 135. So oh, that means I cannot even upgrade. Oh, whoa, I didn't see that. I cannot even upgrade to a 3 train. Okay, so forget about that. It's not. I'm lacking $5, so I can't do that. But maybe next. I'm pretty sure I can do it next turn then. So now the BH will upgrade this tile here to this, and now they have a nice connection to Vienna. And I think I also want a token in Budapest. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna place it. Cost me $100. That's expensive, but what that does basically, it guarantees me a run starting in Vienna, going through here, and then going to Budapest, and then from there on continuing. And I think that is a very strong token. So now I got 2 3 trains, and yeah, I think the best is if I run a 3 train down here. That doesn't give me a lot, that's just 50. But the other one is good. That one is 100. So 50, 100, 130, 160. 16 per share. Good one. Solid starting run. So we go into the next stock round. A 3 train was exported, but we're still in phase 3. There's 1 3 train left. So, okay, players now have quite a bit of cash. $300. This guy, yeah, he has really a lot. 300. He's not doing quite as good. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, that guy has about 200. He has a lot of shares, and I mean, it's interesting, but he's doing really well. The guy with the two mountain railroads over there. So we got to think now, do we want to exchange a mountain railroad for a regional? We also might consider buying Südbahn shares now, because the moment the 4 is purchased or is exported, the Südbahn will start. Now, okay, there's still a 3 in there, but let's assume a regional company starts. Then it could happen, right? I'm not sure, but it is at least possible that we see the 4 coming out in the next set of ORs. So it's something we have to consider. So now, again, there's the question, do we want to convert a company, a coal company, into a major? And I think this time I have to do it. The reason is, I mean, I'm not doing, the thing is, I got $300 here. So it seems like I'm making the most money. But I don't think that's actually correct, because this company, the last set of ORs, it did only operate a single OR. The other OR just bought the trains. And my companies completely operated, including the these two here, which means that this guy made significantly less money than he probably will do this OR. So therefore, I think I have to do something with the $300 here if I want to stop him. Otherwise, I will fall behind. I might have the most cash now, but if I don't use it, you know, this guy has 4 shares, this guy has 3 shares. Yeah, I have to do something here. And I might be also interested in getting rid of the 2 trains, right? I don't own any 2 trains. This guy has 4 2 trains, and some other players also have, obviously, a couple of 2 trains. So I want to convert a company. The question is, which one? And I think this company is running for more because they can reach Wien with a single train. This company can't. However, so I would start this company here in Prague, and this is my candidate number 1 right now to do an exchange. But it seems that the company here, this is the yellow one, it starts in Brünn, is in a better position. So, you know, they can quickly place a token here, for example. If they upgrade this, they can place a token here, and then they can run, yeah, they get the connection between Budapest and Wien. They can run 2 trains to Wien right away. And if I start here at Prague, I don't know. It's a tough decision. On the other hand, I basically got 2 tracklays in this area here. So I could connect to this city also really quickly. And I don't know, it's a tough decision. So I think I want to convert the Mährisch-Schlesische here at Brünn. I think this is a better choice. So I'm going to exchange the coal company for the presidency of the Mährisch-Schlesische. And now, yeah, obviously players can now buy shares for $80. And now it is an interesting decision because now we can be pretty sure that the Mährisch-Schlesische will buy 2 trains. I mean, it's very likely that they will do this. And if they do, that means that the Südbahn will start. So now buying Südbahn shares could be a real option. The problem is, if the Mährisch-Schlesische or the moment the Südbahn starts, all the 2 trains will rust. So, but they still have a run, so they might get a chance to maybe upgrade to a 3 train. So that they, yeah, I think that's definitely possible. This company can definitely do it. They can upgrade to a 3 train. Maybe even 2 of the companies can do it. This one is also close. And if we manage to do that, we will get a good run also in the following turn. So I think the Southern is a completely fine option now for investment too. Okay, this player will also convert one of his company. He will start the Karl Ludwig up here. His idea is if he brings now money into the company, there will be enough to upgrade the 2 train to a 3G. That will be available pretty soon if the other players buy trains. So then we can run from the mine up here all the way to Budapest. I think that's pretty good. And yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. But if I want to buy 50%, that means I have to sell a share of the Bosnische. So I want to make sure that I can do that before other players do. And I cannot float my company if things go really bad. So I have to sell a share, and that drops the value. No matter how many shares I sell, the value only drops by 1. So I assume that because the company is not floated, the Mährische, that it stays underneath that one, but I'm not absolutely certain. But I'm gonna do it like that. So that means I get 90 bucks. So now I get a little more than 300, which is enough to start the Karl Ludwig, which is parked at 100, right? So I get my exchange share, and there we go. And this guy now can simply continue to invest. And for him, there's the question, does he want to hold on to his Bosnia shares? Is he afraid of a dump? I think I don't really have to for the moment. This company is train locked. There's 300 bucks in here. This is a good company, so I don't think I wanna sell that. The question is, do I want to buy that Bosnia share and go to 40% and be even with him? But I don't know. I don't have the best feeling about that, to be honest. I think I want to actually do that. I'm going to buy the 4th share of the Bosnia. And the reason is, if for any reason one of these guys sells a share, I might get a chance to steal the presidency from him. And yeah, that looks appealing to me. So I'm going to spend 80 and buy that one. So again, more decisions here. We could now invest in the Southern, which promises quite a bit of profit. But the Southern will not operate in the upcoming operating round. It will only operate, if things go according to plan, in the 2nd OR. But then it will make a lot of cash if this guy does everything right and does the upgrades of the train and all that, which the other players don't really know. These companies, though, the Karl Ludwig and the Mährische, they will operate immediately. They got their trains, the 1G, the 2J, and they will make money immediately. So it's a tough decision. If you want to go for the long-term advantage, which would be probably the Southern, or if you want to make quick money in this set of ORs. Okay, so we're at the end of the stock round, and the Mährisch-Schlesische floated, and he did help him with that. The Karl Ludwigsbahn also floated. He had to do it on his own. And a lot of the shares of the Südbahn were sold. there's only one non-reserved share left in the bank. So people are expecting quite a bit from this company when it starts operating. And now the Mährische has at the moment $130 plus the 1G, but they will now receive 8 times the starting value. So that's 80. That means they get another 640. So that means they are at, I don't know, 770 or something, and a train. And these guys have 30, 40, 55 or something, but they get $800 as a starting capital in addition, and they have a 2G train. All right, so that was a long video, and I'm going to load this up before we go into the next set of ORs. And by the way, this one is sold out, and yeah, that's it.